Hey YouTube, welcome to what I am praying will actually be the final part to this snowblower video. So I've received the tensioner chain and the new traction belt. So I'm going to try to put the new belt and the new tension spring on, and if that's it, then we're done. Because the only thing I'm missing then is the two bolts to hold on the belt cover, which I'm not going to bore you guys with putting two bolts on. So yeah, this thing's going to be done, and we're going to run this today, and we're going to hope that it takes off like a mother, and see if those 8 horses can drive this thing along. Yeah. All right, stay tuned. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, so I've taken the belt off the main drive pulley, and I've loosened the tensioner so that will move using a half-inch wrench. So it's very hard to see the bolt that's down there. Let's see if I can get the light on it. There's the bolt right there. That's it, right here. My middle finger is touching it there. Woo! Wiggling the nut. So, and then the tension spring connects to this bolt over here. And then it hooks onto a little hole on this pulley here, on the arm of it. And come on, focus. So once I get that hooked up, I think I'll be able to have appropriate tension. So again, I pulled the belt off the drive wheel. I think then I got to pull it down through. I got to turn this thing up on its end and pull that out from the belly pan under the friction plate. Hopefully I don't have to cut this thing in half. If I got to break it in half, that's 3 bolts on each side, and then the thing splits in half, and it's a pain in the ass to get back together. So hopefully I don't have to break it in half, but it looks like there's plenty of room to get everything through without having to break it in half. Maybe the engineers designed this one a little better than some of the other models that require you to split the thing open like a clamshell. Okay. So here's the new spring, and here's the old spring. The old spring was broken, and I did try to make a new hook on it just to see if it would work, but I'm afraid that's probably too far rusted, and if I tried to just make that new hook end work, it would probably either straighten out and fall off, or it would just snap again. So that's why I ordered the new one. So now we're going to try to get that fitted. So maybe you guys can tell me if there was an easier way to do this, but I had to take the pulley right off the machine in order to get the tension spring on it. Now, maybe you guys can tell me, does the spring go this way at the top, or does it go underneath at the bottom like that? I'll let you guys tell me. I'm going to figure it out which way seems right to me, and then that's how I'm going to leave it. But if you guys could tell me if I did it wrong or not, I'd appreciate it. Okay, so I did learn I probably didn't need to take the whole pulley off. So the spring needs to go, let me put it on a white background here. The spring needs to go this way. However, the hole that it goes through, and let me see if I can prop it up on something here. The hole is on the other side, so it needs to go here, but I can't get it in that way. But what I figured out is if I hook it in on this side, it's really easy, and then I just had to spin it around to the opposite side, and then it's all set. Let me just do that right, and then I'll show you. Okay. So to me, that's how it looks like it should sit. just like that. So if I'm wrong, let me know. But yeah, I think I could have did that without pulling the pulley off, but I didn't realize it until I pulled the pulley off. So now it's time to reassemble it. Putting it back on shouldn't be too bad. It's just a 1/2 inch drive. So I'll let you know when I got it put back on. Okay, so I've got the tensioner back on, and I'm going to try to get the spring attached to the bolt that goes right in here. And looks like there's another bolt hole. Maybe there's two positions for it. I don't know. It came out of this hole. So, oops, there's 2 holes here. And it was in this upper one. So I'm not going to use the lower one, but I'm wondering if that's where you can maybe put a different level of tension on it, maybe? I don't know. But not using that second one. But yeah, let's try to get that spring attached. Okay, so the spring is attached, and let's see if I can get my ratchet in there. Not much room. And it's turning the wrong way. Let's see if that's better. Okay, that spring is stopping me from getting it to go down all the way. See if I can walk it out a little. Maybe that worked better. It wasn't all the way down to begin with, so I'm not going to drive it all the way down now. But that ought to be good. That's better. That's a little further in than what it was when I started, but far enough in that I think it's secure and it's not going to come out. So again, so if you guys tell me that that should be all the way in, let me know. But again, it wasn't all the way in to start with. And now I have really good tension now on that wheel. So time to start on the new belt. Okay, so I got the old belt and the new belt. So this is the old belt here. And it does seem to be the exact same size as the new belt. The old belt looks, though, like it's in pretty good condition. I'm not seeing any fraying, any cracking. So maybe I'll keep that as an emergency. But the new belt seems like it should go on pretty easily. So to get the new belt on, I've got the belly pan off, and so what I need to do is I need to slip this under the friction wheel, between the friction wheel and the plate, and then it slides up under, and then I just have to route it under the tensioner and over the pulley. And it sounds easier than it looks, but okay, so that part was pretty easy, so maybe it isn't so bad. So I've got it past the friction wheel, it's around the plate, and then it's just a matter of, I think, pulling it up. So let's go around the other side. Oh. Okay, so I'm at an awkward position here because I'm on the ground in front of this, but yeah, I'm pulling the belt up, got it around the tensioner, so I can get it on the main drive pulley. Oh I will probably need to let's put this back upright. Let's make sure I'm not hung up underneath, under the belly pan. Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Okay. Doing this one-handed is not easy either. Maybe it's time to invest in a tripod. Once I get it on the drive belt, then I can put it back upright again. There. Yeah, one-handed was a challenge. Okay, now I just need to put it upright and work on hooking it on the tensioner and adjusting the tensioner. So back in a couple. Okay, so the belly pan is back on. Now I just got to figure out how to get this tensioner around the opposite side of the belt. So I think that's a little easier said than done, but maybe I can get a wrench on that and pull it over and then hook it around. So I'm going to try to do that, and then I'll tell you guys how it worked out. Not sure if I can be heard, but success. Okay, not sure if you guys heard me or not. The thing takes off like a shot when it's in 6th gear. That's running speed, I think, with this thing. I've got the tensioner at its loosest setting. Still pretty tight, probably because the spring and belt are both so new. Plus, I cleaned the friction plate and the friction wheel are all clean, so it's grabbing really well. The thing really takes off. Job well done. So I am waiting for the bolts to put the belt cover on, but I will not be boring you guys with that in this video. So this is it. This is finally done. And this is going to a well-deserving family. They're only paying me for the parts I put into it. I got about, I don't know, $80 worth of parts into it. They're getting a snowblower that's 100% functional. You know, yes, it's used, it's a little beat up. I'm going to adjust the skids so that it scrapes correctly, because right now it's lying directly on the ground, and that'll wear that up. I want to put that up about 1/8 of an inch. So I'm not going to bore you guys with that. But yeah, this is 100% functional now and ready for use. And winter's not here yet, so it's not even Thanksgiving. So, yay. Again, like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. I'm going to be putting my GoFundMe link in the description. Please consider giving. And whether you give or not, thank you for at least considering it. All right, everyone. Have a good day. Happy Thanksgiving.